Like in the movie The Matrix, they have their own Morpheus, someone who's a leader, who's revolutionary and is going against the grain. In our world, we have our own Matrix and our own Morpheus.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned to find out who he is. My name is Kristian Bandera. I am your host, and across from me is my co-host, Vinny Dos Santos.
Yep.
What's up?
How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I mean, we're here. It's a nice, beautiful day. It's sunny. It's hot. And we have a very special guest.
We do have a very special guest, someone who literally helped us create our brand and our gym the way it is. None other than Mr. Black.
That's it.
Nice to
Mr. Black.
Good afternoon, Mr. Black.
I'm escaping the matrix with you guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, for those who don't know Mr. Black, he is the man behind KMF, the man behind our Matrix concept, who has designed and put it all together. Everything that you see that is wonderful and beautiful about KMF, it came from that big, intelligent brain right there.
Creative.
Creative brain. Exactly.
Yes, that's what AI can't do.
Exactly.
Going
It's
against AI.
escaping the world of AI
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, I'm just going to jump in. Just like
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a podcast, or I should say, articles post about AI and gym design. Some people are showing what they consider good gym design done by AI, and I disagree. I don't really think it's good gym design at all. It really is. What does AI do? It scans the internet for images, and you put in your cues, and all it is cloning existing architectural designs. And so the disadvantage, obviously, to that is if you're scanning the internet for concepts of what a gym design is, it's just taking what's already there, and which is what everyone else does. So in your case, we created a concept around your gym. So
Yes.
it's original, and it's unique brand IP, what I call intellectual property, unique colors, so unique architectural geometries and lighting. So this is sort of, I went a little bit sideways, but that's what I like about the process and working with you guys, is because you came to me with the idea of let's do the matrix. How do we interpret the matrix in a gym design? And so we did that. We have our digital rain, our digital wall rain, and we have our red and blue features. And so that's the start. So back to you guys.
Yeah. Since we know who you are, obviously, we know where you've come from, what you did before, but the audience doesn't know. Most people probably don't know who you are because, you're just becoming famous in the industry. You're becoming a bit of a celebrity. But for the people who don't know, can you give us a little bit of your backstory?
I was my hometown. I grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts, and as a young guy, I sort of gravitated away from what everybody else was doing in my neighborhood. The kids were playing ball, and I was in my room experimenting with architecture and design at 14 years old. And I knew that I had sort of this interest in these ideas of science fiction and art and design at a young age. And so as I got older and I started looking at universities, I ended up moving to New York City, and I was accepted in one of the top 5 gym, or I should say interior design institutions in the world, New York School of Interior Design. And I excelled there. I really liked that. And from that work, designing in New York City, when you're in New York City, you're exposed to, the best music and fashion and architecture and everything, art, fine art. And so I lived in Manhattan for 20 years, small town guy, going, the story, small town person goes to the big city to get discovered, to become famous. And so I spent quite a few years there. And from that, I was exposed. I traveled to Paris. I lived and worked in Paris. I worked in hotel design, or I should say hospitality design, which is restaurants and nightclubs. So I designed these beautiful bars in Paris, and I lived in Mexico, and I traveled to Armenia. So I've been kind of like Tokyo. So I've been all exposed. Yeah, I've been exposed to a lot of cultures, and As an American, typically most American architectural designers are in America, so their experience isn't global. And so my experience became global, and it rubbed off on me as an architectural designer. Originally, I moved, as I said, I was doing hotels and restaurants and things of that nature, and I moved into gyms because I was also a bodybuilder at the time. So I was a natural bodybuilder. So, geez, I was training at a gym in New York City, and I'm looking up at the ceiling. So here I am. I'm a designer, and I'm a bodybuilder. And I looked up at the gym. And I said, this gym's terrible. This is like 15, 20 years ago.
I got to do something about
I
this.
said, why don't I start just designing gyms? And so that was kind of like the launch pad for me. Is like I was a designer, and I was in a gym and I was bodybuilding. And I said, why don't I start designing gyms? And that's how I got my start.
Very interesting. Very
It
interesting.
was cool.
Yeah, definitely,
My
definitely.
first customer was the gym I was training in,
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah.
Is that gym still around?
Yeah, it's the flagship gym in New York City for Crunch. So that was my first project. Was the main
Wow.
project. So I stepped into it pretty good.
Damn.
So the rest is history.
Yeah, it's been a long battle because what I do doesn't fit the how do you say, the standard. What for me, what had happened is as I was trying to enter into the gym design industry, I was getting a lot of pushback. People didn't want me. They didn't want to share the glory of or the projects or the clients, and there was this what we call a fiefdom. A fiefdom is everybody protects everybody in their little network, and so all the architectural designers and the magazines and equipment suppliers didn't want to hear from me. So I decided, I heard Barbara Corcoran from the Corcoran Group. If you know who Barbara Corcoran is.
Oh, yeah, we know who
Says
she
you're going
is.
to jump over everybody. She jumped over everybody in the real estate industry. I said, hey, I should do that. So I jumped over everybody. I looked at the playing field. I saw everyone was doing one of two styles of gyms they were designing or building. Gyms that look like gyms, green astroturf, motivational slogans on the wall, graffiti, hexagon lighting fixtures. It was all the typical gym that looks like a gym stuff. Some people don't like it. It's good for what it is, but people were doing either that or they were trying to look like an Equinox. So it was one or the other. People were looking like you wanted to look like another gym that looked like a gym, or you want to look like a boutique hotel. So I said, trick here is to do what neither one of these styles, what these brands are doing. And I came up with the idea of creating these gyms that are conceptual, that have a concept behind the design of the gym, and it's not copying anybody else in the industry. And so we came up with the idea, well, you should have your own brand color scheme that's just unique to your gym and your logo, architectural geometries and lighting and all this really cool stuff. So I started designing gyms that were inspired by movies. Like, if people who know me, and you maybe at the end of the podcast, you could send people to my Instagram page.
Definitely.
And they'll see some of the inspiration. For example, gyms that were inspired by the movie Tron. Gyms like your gym was inspired by The Matrix. And so I built my niche, which was to design gyms that no one else was doing. Right. And that's how you guys met me.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, you are the one that created that gym based on Tron. That was the Boca Raton one, right?
Yes.
So for the audience, that is now the Redcon 1 gym.
Correct.
It was not before. Wasn't it a American Ninja Warrior gym before, you said?
It was Trainer Space.
It was Trainer Space before, okay.
Trainer Space.
And then they sold it to Redcon 1.
Right.
Yes. So there you go, everyone.
I mean, you'll see on my Instagram page, we might as well say it, it's Gym Designer, one word. That's my Instagram page. And you'll see the blue gym from Florida. And when you look at it, you can see sort of the influence of the science fiction Tron aesthetic. Yeah. And I'm big into integrating sort of sci-fi aesthetics, very forward, very different than everyone else is doing in the industry. As you guys know, when you first interviewed me, you went to one of my clients, one of the developers I
Yeah.
worked with
Yes.
locally.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
saw one of his gyms, which was very kind of sci-fi.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gym was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The lights in that, like you had mentioned that it was an all gray gym basically,
Black.
but with
Oh,
black.
Yes.
But with the lights, he
It's-
can transform the whole thing green, red, blue, and it just feels like, damn, like this is what the color of the gym is. And then he'll change the color. It's like, oh wait, no, it's not. It's this color. It's really, like he put that together like crazy.
Well, you know, it's interesting because what happens is everybody's on the internet and Instagram, and they go and they'll do a Google image search for gym design. So years ago, one of the guys that inspired me, a gym designer, was David Barton. Everybody knows who David Barton is, or at least they knew David Barton was the thing back in the day, still is, but he was doing these very innovative gyms, and he did colored lighting, colored changing lighting in the gyms. Not so much, but what ended up happening is when somebody sees something different in the gym industry, then everybody copies it. And so what happened is color changing lighting at one time was innovative in a gym, but now everybody does it. They just throw color changing lighting in the gym and saying that, and that's the effect for them. And you can't do that anymore. The bar's been raised, if you will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and you know, that we talked a little bit about the hexagon lightings, and at one time the hexagon lighting was really cool. It was like nobody did it, and then all of a sudden,
Everyone's
everywhere
doing
you
it.
look, everybody's got
Everyone's
hexagon
doing
lighting.
it.
I mean, what does that say about your brand? You don't have to care if you don't want to, but if you, I had one of the developers I'm working with say, "You're right about the hexagon lights. There was a pizza parlor down the street. They put the hexagon
Are you
lights."
serious?
Yeah.
Damn,
So,
a pizza parlor. That's crazy.
so the point is, if you're doing what pizza parlors are doing in the business gym business, you don't have a unique brand. I mean, anybody can come into your marketplace and use the same things.
Right.
So what I'm trying to help guys like you do is create this gym aesthetic. When people walk in, they're like, "Whoa, I've never seen a gym like this before. It doesn't even look like a gym."
And every time someone comes in, we always tell them this is a one-of-one design. You can Google it, you can do whatever you want trying to find it. There is no replication of it. It's literally a one-of-one in the whole.
You can't copy and paste it.
You can't.
Well, it's a marketing thing. It's a marketplace positioning thing. Is like you can, and that's with all the developers I work with. When they're in these crowded marketplaces with everybody that either has a gym that looks like an Equinox or a gym that looks like another black gym or black and red gym, everybody's doing that. So when you have something like what you guys have built, is you've got a marketplace differentiation sort of feature that nobody can really compete against you. You can charge more for it, which you guys know.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And it seduces people who've seen all these other gyms. It's the same stuff when they see your gym. They walk in, and like I said, what we focus on is like making this gym science fiction, looking like a movie, being really differentiated, really forward, that when people walk in, wow, what else? Tell me about your gym. What do you guys do? What kind of training? What kind of equipment do you have? So it's a seduction sort of feature, marketing, if you will.
Yeah, it really is, because we've had people who literally left the gym and then came back because they know they went to other gyms and they're like, yeah, this wasn't for me. So they had to come back to us because they just could not deal with the other gyms, corporate gyms.
Well, yeah, the corporate gyms. I mean, that says a lot.
And what I like about it is it's not just in the aesthetic too. Like the whole concept ties into the way the business is ran, right?
Exactly.
The way we structure our things to have members, trainers, and clients escape the matrix of the corporate world. So they're not getting charged all these extra fees and contracts and all of these things. So the concept ties into everything, the whole business. We literally live by it as the gym. It's not just every same structure as every other gym with a different look. It's literally everything is that concept. So it ties in perfectly.
Definitely. Like I've seen other gyms. I was looking the other day. I've seen a gym in Minnesota who has basically kind of the same concept, not obviously the matrix, but like when it comes to our no contracts, no fees, no cancellation fees thing, except when you sign up, you have to pay the first and the last month. So it's like, well, I get it, but it's close. It's close.
They still haven't fully escaped.
Still haven't fully escaped it yet.
Fully escaped. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any gym doing it like us, where the design is also tied into that.
Yeah, definitely not.
There is no such thing.
Yeah, one time what I did was important. Gym design wasn't really a factor. Everybody was competing on. They had the equipment and they had the captured marketplace, and they had the lingo, they had it down. But what ended up happening is the internet and social media platforms brought what I call the lifestyle aesthetic to consumers, like House and Garden TV and all these design magazines. So all of a sudden, the gyms started trying to hijack or capture design that was in sort of the hotels and the restaurants and the condominiums. That's where we get what I call the boutique hotel gyms, gyms that look like a boutique hotel. You can't tell if you're in a gym or if you're in a boutique hotel or a condominium or in a restaurant, because it looks like a boutique hotel, a condominium, or a restaurant. So that's why I advise developers, don't copy what these people are doing, because it blurs your brand.
And it's funny because it's funny how you were saying earlier, how gyms are all the same with the green turf and the lights and the black wall. Because when I found Mr. Black on YouTube, right, doing another podcast, that's exactly what he said. He's like, gyms are all doing the same thing: green turf, LED lights, this and that. And it was like as if he was literally speaking directly to us, like, because you guys are doing this stuff. And I was like, wow, I felt so attacked. And I remember messaging you guys like, guys, like, this is our guy. We gotta talk to him.
That's what our gym used to look like.
Literally, like it was as if he was looking at our gym and he was like, this is what you're doing. Like, you're doing everything that you shouldn't. And then we were like, all right, we need to figure this out.
It's sort of funny is because as operators, I don't have the expertise or skills as an operator. I don't know how to operate a gym, how to build the gym, but I am an architectural designer. And so I have a set of skills. What does Liam Neeson say? I have this particular set of skills. And I see the gym design through a filter of, I'm an academic. I taught design in a really good school. I taught the design, and I've traveled the world. So my filter is really precise. And so that's how I've been able to identify the trends in the fitness industry and then help developers. Don't do this anymore. You're doing what everyone else is doing. And that's how I grew. People started saying, yeah, the future is not doing another gym that looks like a gym or a boutique hotel. The future is doing our own brand. And that's what you guys are good at. I mean, you guys did, the thing is, you guys had a black gym with green accent paint, like a lime green accent paint.
Right.
That's everywhere. Everybody does that. Or it's black with red.
Yeah. Black with red is huge. So many people do black and red.
And it's done really, I don't know. It's just hard to do. And what happens is so let me make an analogy. Chipotle?
Yeah.
You see Chipotle. It's the same red as Chipotle and the gray or a black, and there's no variation. There's no patina, if you will. I can use this vernacular that's a little bit different than everybody else. And so the passion is when you build a gym like you guys have done with the colors and the lighting and the effects and the architecture, is people recognize that the consumer is on the TV and they're on the internet, and so they know good design when they see it. And so when they walk in your club, they say, whoa, I haven't seen anything like this before, so tell me more what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's literally why people come into the gym. They see us online, and then immediately they're like, whoa, I got to check this out.
Right.
And they come in like, hey, I saw you guys online. Can you tell me more about the gym?
Yeah.
Well, what I like the story is you guys were our next door to a dance studio, and they've been walking by the front of your place for years. And when you did the renovation and the lobby was done, you had told me the first time ever in all the years that you were there, people were coming in from the dance studio going, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And they had walked by you for years and completely oblivious to what you were doing.
Definitely.
And we did the redesign, and that's so amazing.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day, actually. So some of the clients from the girls next door, they came in for the first time, like he's saying, after like 2 years, bro. And then they're just kind of like, oh, what is this place? They didn't even know we were a gym.
There you go.
And then they see the design, they're like, oh my God, this is really cool. And that's the story that kind of repeats itself. When people come in, they see it for the first time, they're like, wow, like, this is really cool. I've never seen this. Oh, there's a mirror on the ceiling. Whoa, what is this?
Yeah,
It looks so trippy. Yeah.
everyone doesn't even realize the mirror until they circle the gym, they come back, and then they finally realize it was there.
And then the
whole time.
selfies start to happen,
Yep.
and then the
Yeah,
videos
it's
in the
all
mirror.
about the selfies and sharing it.
Yeah.
You guys have been very. I'm really impressed because your struggle. If there's any gym owners listening to this, some gym owners have great storefront property where there's people driving by and they can see your sign. But you guys are in a very difficult place because you have no storefront. So you're sort of behind in a small industrial building.
Right.
So nobody knows about you. So the fact that you're growing your membership is, which is a different story. You can get into that. It's just a testament to your sales ability, but also it's interesting because you have a pulse on what you need to do to market your club. So you knew that your location and the design that you had was keeping you sort of a step down. So by doing the design and marketing it as you did on social media, I know what your numbers are. You guys have told me. We don't have to get specific.
No, yeah, and we can too, because for any gym owners that could be watching this, or maybe you have a friend that is a gym owner that maybe is struggling, like really take this into consideration. And message Mr. Black here, because he can literally transform your whole gym. I mean, we've tripled in membership in the last 11 months.
Definitely.
Only 11 months. And the big news that we talked about in our last podcast is that we are expanding. So to triple in membership, to triple in trainers, to expand the space to almost double, and be able to do things like a podcast to where other gym owners are watching our podcast and hating us for it is unreal. To where our little gym that could is bringing out the insecurities of these big multi-million-dollar corporation gyms. That's saying something. So if you're a gym owner, you got to message this man ASAP, because this could literally change the whole direction. But then at the end of the day, you have to be about it. You have to be all in. You have to be committed, and you have to you have to be invested. So that's a big thing too. You got to market. You got to do it all.
Definitely. But how many gym owners would actually be willing to do that? Because most gym owners do not like to go against the grain. They like to stay in what they know.
Right.
Those hexagonal lights, the green AstroTurf, black walls, red, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like the trainers almost. They don't want to get uncomfortable. They're too comfortable being comfortable, but they need to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of gyms don't reach out to someone like Mr. Black or even other designers, probably because they think they already know it. Maybe a little bit of ignorance there, but also they are afraid because of change. Basically,
they have their $5-10 million in the bank, and they just create a regular gym, and it's got enough space and it's got all the equipment, so that probably just brings enough revenue to them, and they don't really want to stand out like that. It's all the matrix, right? Everyone just stuck in that matrix. But it brings me to a question though, Mr. Black. Have you had like a lot of let's say Agent Smiths? These Agent Smiths reach out to you.
3 this week. So disingenuous.
3 this week.
Yeah, just disingenuous.
Damn. 3 Agent Smiths.
Yeah, just disingenuous people.
Really?
Oh, I want to talk to you, and send me the information, and I don't need to get into that. I don't know which way to go with this, because I don't
think about it.
But I don't want to be malicious.
Of course.
People are like curious. Well, what are you doing? And so I've gone out on a limb, and I've challenged sort of the trends, the standardizations in the industry. So when some people hear that, they want to know more. And a lot of that is like some of these gym owners, developers, corporate gym owners and independents and consultants chase me all over the internet. They follow me on Facebook. They follow me on LinkedIn. They follow me on Instagram. I follow nobody. I don't care what anybody else is doing. Why are you chasing me around the internet? Basically what I'm saying is, don't look what I'm doing. Create your own thing.
Right.
Stop trying to follow me. You can't do what I do because it's all
No.
creative. It comes from God.
Right.
That's my feeling. Everything I do is not my ego saying, "Oh, I'm just a cool designer." No, I get these inspired ideas. So my ideas come from as I believe in God, and this is sort of my take with AI is that it's not AI is a machine. It's neither
Right.
artificial nor is it intelligent.
Right.
It's a machine. And so the creativity that comes with the designs, I mean, if you look at some of the gyms, your gyms, and you look at them that we're doing and some of our other clients, the guys in Scottsdale, Arizona, New Zealand, the gym in New Zealand, the guy Trainer Space, all these gyms, just like you look at them and wow, this is cool stuff. That's not me. That's creative
So-
spirit coming into me. So to go into the spies, stop following me.
Calling out the haters.
So you know what's funny, Mr. Black, that you brought up AI. I don't know if it was Alex or who it was, but he was like, "Yeah, I saw that you were doing really good things with the gym." And at first, I looked at that rendering picture and I thought you'd used AI. He thought we used AI. I don't
way.
remember if it was Alex, but it was someone who was talking to me and was like, "Yeah, I thought you were using AI. I thought you just promoted that on your gym as if, or whatever." Like it's funny, like it's just
It's so
that
funny.
good that people are thinking that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The architectural renderings are always amazing when
Oh
we
my
do
gosh.
the architectural
Tell me about
renderings and you look at it like you guys and one of my other developers I'm working with down in Scottsdale, the guy Legacy Fitness, the blue gym, blue and yellow,
Yes.
really nice gym. We just did that one. He's going, I can't stop looking at the rendering.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
It's so sick.
And
Yeah.
then we built a gym, and when we did the rendering for you guys, it was the same thing. People were like,
Yeah.
"This is amazing."
Yeah.
And then when you build it from the rendering, you actually
Yeah.
build it. It's 10 times cooler.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
an experience.
It's funny because I had a lot of people also come out to me and they're like, I don't get it. What's this? What's that? Like, how are you gonna pull this off? They had no idea. Some of them couldn't comprehend it. And then when it started taking shape, they were like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy." And then the rest is history.
Yeah. And so, I mean, to get back to the question about all the Mr. Is it
Agent
Mr. Smith?
Smiths?
Agent Smiths. It's funny because I don't run around the internet looking. I don't know what any of my, I guess, contemporaries, competitors are doing. So I have a peripheral view of like the industry.
Mhm.
But because of my filters, I can pick out things very quickly what's going on. And so there's people have been promoting this AI design, and I look at it, it's like I can't tell if it's a Lexus dealership or if it's a condominium with the design. But if you look at your gym and you see the digital range,
Yeah.
and they know you guys in the color scheme and like the Trainer Space gym in Florida, it's just like, wow, this is really, and well, that's Matthew at Escape Fitness had said that.
Oh, okay.
He says like, I look at your gyms, I know just where that is and who it is.
Mhm.
And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's a testament to you guys.
No, yeah, definitely. Like
that-
as
that
soon as
you've
you
done.
see the design, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, this is something different that nobody else is doing. So, and charge more money. Most of the developers I'm working with are raising their price points.
Mhm.
You've got a differentiated feature. I have the best story. The gym that you visited in Southborough, I think. I don't know if you
Worcester, I
went to
think.
the one.
No, yeah, I
Worcester?
think it was Worcester. Yeah.
Yeah,
We didn't
the
get to
one
the
in
Southborough
Worcester.
one.
When we did that gym, I like to credit the developers that
Mhm.
we're working with because I know you guys have your own thing, but this was Stronger PT in Worcester. And when I walked in to meet him, like you guys, he goes, "I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be 100 years ahead of my competitors." And so we did that gym that the colors change and it looks pink, and then the whole gym, the reception area,
Yeah,
it
it's
blows you
crazy.
away.
That
It's
gym's
like
crazy.
it's like one of his members walked in and said, "I feel like I'm in a science fiction movie, or I'm in a
That's literally the
spaceship."
feeling you get too.
You're in a spaceship. And so when we opened his training floor, it was like January. This was a few years back. It was January. It was dusk. It was cold. And so I peeked into the window, and the gym was cooking. There were like 30, 45 people training on all the equipment. I said, let me go around the corner, because he had a franchise gym was around the corner. And I drove around the corner, literally a half mile away. And I peeked in the window of one of his competitors, a franchise gym, 2 people on treadmills. And
Yep.
they were grinding, reading
Yeah.
the newspaper,
Right.
and compared to the gym that we had just done. So this is what you
Right.
guys done. Because every time
Yeah.
I look at your gym, it's like smoking hot.
Yeah.
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 A lot of people.
A lot of people love the train.
And that's why we have to expand.
Exactly. That's
That's
why,
why we have to expand.
now we're getting a little bit more cramped. We got to expand a bit more.
Yeah.
Now we got to make the gym a little bit better. And that's why we employed you again.
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 Thank you.
I mean,
Again.
Kristian and I always talk about how we want 15 gyms.
Yes.
And these are going to be, who knows, 30, 40, 50,000 plus square foot gyms. So Mr. Black, I hope you get comfortable because you're going to get stuck with us for a while.
Yeah. I really, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. But what's really interesting is like servicing, like, you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Of
Yes,
course.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like he talks about,
Oh,
you
yeah.
closed a deal, but it doesn't stop there. And so, like, when you guys called me the next day, I was there,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm ready. What do we need to do? And so I really like execution. And when you look at the gyms, that your gym when we worked on it, it's a back and forth process. I just didn't say here's the
Right.
design. It's
Right.
like here's this material, here's this idea, this is this much a square foot. And I think we've been
Yeah.
really good about the budget, the numbers, because
Yeah.
nobody talks about the
Yeah,
budget.
for sure.
And we were really, from the very beginning, we were estimating costs for this material, this much labor, and so we were really kind of, never was out of control. We were always had sort of bookends, or we always were in control of the budget. So you've done that really well.
100%.
So
100%.
good for you.
Because and I mean, and again, for anybody who could be a gym owner that's watching this, like Mr. Black, you have been like the most hands-on person. Like I have videos that we'll still need to post of you ripping off the tints that came in the wrong way. Like I don't think you would have another bougie designer that would go out of his way to literally be there till 2, 3 in the morning helping you finish a project. I don't think there is much of anybody else that would just
Yes, sir.
be in the grind with you. So that was dope. And then the whole budget thing is huge because before we talked to you, we talked to a big brand for equipment, and it was like triple the price just for the equipment. And I'm pretty sure that even if we had the money to get all those pieces, we would not have gotten the amount of success that we did with the design that you put together.
Oh,
There's no way.
Yeah, no way.
We could have had a whole gym of brand new, top of the line, best equipment in the industry with the same design, and we would have stayed with the same amount of members and probably gone out of business.
Well, that's really, really, really significant, at least from my point of view, or your followers, or other gym owners. Why is that? How did the design trigger your? It's astounding. You tripled your membership in a year, and you're doubling your space, and you tripled your personal trainers. How did the design do that?
It's funny because I think about that too. I think gyms now, or at least before, they used to be hardcore gyms. The pieces really mattered. People would outsource for rare equipment and things like that. And now we're at a point where the design is super important, or at least it should be. And we're also getting to a point where not only is the design important, but the equipment is also kind of catching up again, where it's equally important. So now you have to have a little bit of mixture of both. One or the other doesn't necessarily always do it, right? We have a little bit of a friend who has a crazy design of a gym, but his equipment isn't the greatest. We went to visit him and we saw some of his equipment. We're like, I don't know if I would want this for my members, right? So, but the design pulls them in. And if you're just a regular gym goer, you don't really care about how heavy the machines go or what it does, or as long as you get that workout in. I think the aesthetics is way more important because it's about how you make someone feel. It's the experience that you're able to provide them.
And so I was kind of a loaded question because it was great because you segued me to what I believe and what I promote. People don't even listen to me sometimes, or they blow me off. But what we're doing is we're creating destination experiences. It's not just another gym with graffiti or green astroturf. Like these gyms, I want to be. I've had people tell me, I don't want to leave this gym. This is like really cool. So it's kind of like a Disney mindset, Or an Apple product is like, I love my Apple aesthetics, my phone, the colors, the looks. And you go in Disneyland, it's a destination experience. And Howard Schultz of Starbucks said that Starbucks is the third place after work and home. Like people like to hang out at Starbucks. And so that was sort of, I'm adopting philosophies from people like Starbucks, like Schultz and Walt Disney and then Steve Jobs about creating these experiences. And that's kind of why I think the design is important now, is creating these interesting, like fun, theatrical, because the designs that you've done and that we're doing are very theatrical. They're almost like movie sets.
Yeah.
They look like movies. And so we're giving it to your members are like, oh, I got the best equipment. And I love my trainers, and I love my gym, the layout, and I love my workouts and the music. And so it's like the whole experience. It's called experiential design. It's the music, it's the personality of the staff, it's the design, it's the equipment.
Yeah.
You know, all the amenities and everything you do together. And that's what gym owners have to do now, gym developers, if they want to step into what I call the next generation.
Yeah. And it feels timeless, just like the owner at the PT Stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like how he said that he wanted a timeless gym, it feels timeless.
Yeah.
Like, you know, with our lighting design, for those who don't know, like we can change the colors however we want. So depending on the holiday, we can have different colors. Right now we're in October, so we have orange. Right. Christmas we can change it to green or red or whatever. So whenever you walk in, you can have a different color, or it can constantly change. So members constantly feel something different. You know, so the experience goes a long way.
Yeah, that's you know, I think you're hitting on, again, this is where I talked about having a pulse on the culture. On the consumer culture. And so, you know, I see people doing selfies on your Instagram page with the background of the gym.
Yeah.
So it's great.
They love it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They love it. And it helps us too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
We're
It's free advertisement too, right?
We're now the selfie destination for gyms.
Right?
We literally have, oh man, this is going to be interesting because like Kirsten, who's our social media manager,
Right.
she literally has people hitting her up to come
Do photo shoots.
Do photo shoots at our gym.
Yeah.
They already train or work at other gyms,
Yeah.
but obviously it won't work out there. So they want to come to ours and do it there.
Mhm.
And even all the trainers and all members say the same thing. The lighting is perfect.
Yeah.
There's no way it could get any better.
Lighting is so important.
Yeah.
Just like,
Especially in the fitness space, right? Lighting is everything. Fitness is like 90% lighting.
Of course.
When you get a pump and you look good.
it's so funny because again, through my filter as an architectural designer, you know, people just throw, as I said, they throw color changing lighting and they think that's it. It's not enough.
Right.
Because what happens is you have flooring, you have walls, you have ceilings, you have other materials, and all of this is caught in the lighting. So is it just paint on the wall, or what is your wall made out of? What's your floor made out of? What are the materials that reflect or are translucent or transparent or reflect? There's all these other like layer upon layer of interrelated features in the design. And I think that shows through when people go to your Instagram page or your face, your Instagram, mostly Instagram. When they look at the pictures, you're kind of like, it's very theatrical. I was looking at them a few weeks ago, and I just it's exciting, the colors and the materials and the way that people are standing there and they're doing the selfies. And so people are talking about it. So good for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely getting that notoriety that we've been needing, especially in our area where it's just packed with a bunch of other gyms, franchise corporate gyms.
Yeah.
It's about time we got some notoriety and started putting them out of business. Obviously, maybe not out of business, but started dulling their clientele down and taking it.
Seriously.
Well, your triple membership, they came from somebody else's
They
gym.
came from somewhere,
They
right?
did, and I know exactly where a lot of them came
Yeah,
from.
well, you know, that's a common story with the developers that I'm working with. One of the things I think, again, I'll probably share this podcast with some of my followers. You know, maybe you might want to talk to my followers about the matrix behind what you guys were to do, because you didn't really elaborate that because you've been kind enough to allow me to speak. So maybe you could tell my followers the idea behind the Matrix and where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. Go ahead, Vinny.
Me? All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Matrix. I mean, when Mr. Black told us to think of a movie to be inspired by, at the time we were really influenced by a guy named Andrew Tate at the time, and he talked a lot about escaping the Matrix. And then Kristian was like, "Let's do the Matrix." So we were like, "Okay, perfect. All right, this ties in perfectly to this guy that we really like, Andrew Tate, the way he views life and things like that." And then Mr. Black told us to pick a movie. So okay, perfect, Matrix. Gave it to Mr. Black. He came out with this crazy concept. And obviously, if you go on our Instagram page, you'll see the rendering and all of that. But ultimately, the concept is escaping the matrix of the fitness industry. So the fitness industry is the corporate world of, every other gym. I don't have to list the names of them, but you'll know a corporate gym when I say a corporate gym, right? They all the same franchises all over the world.
Big box.
Exactly. All those gyms. So we're escaping that. And we're escaping that by one, obviously his work which is the crazy aesthetic, right? It's the one-of-one design that no other gym has. The lighting, the LEDs, the black, the projector, everything, absolutely everything, that no one has ever done in the whole entire world, obviously. And then it translates to the way the business is run as well. So the concept of, how we structure our payments to have members and our clients escape the matrix. So we're the one gym who does one price. We don't do contracts. We don't do fees. We don't do annual fees. We don't do joining fees. Literally,
fees. You don't do
no cancellation fees. Exactly. So
See?
literally,
I watch your podcast.
yeah. So literally nothing at all to literally escape the matrix. When you sign up to a gym, you have to pay all these hidden fees for literally nothing. There is no reason for that. There really isn't. And then for trainers especially, man, this is where it hits me home, right? Because you go to any corporate gym and they charge the clients $90, $100, some $150, depending on how upscale the gym is, for an hour session. But the trainer will make how much?
Maybe a fourth of that, maybe.
$25 for a $100 session, maybe. 34 max if you're like the top ranked, highest certification trainer there. And they make empty promises. Oh, we'll go up, whatever percentage eventually, which will never come. Never. And you'll always be capped somewhere. But at our gym, you make 100% of your income. Wow. You charge your clients what you want to charge and you pocket all of that. So instead of your client paying $100 at a corporate gym, you can charge them $80 and still make $80. Instead of them paying $100 and you making $25, you charge them less, you make more, and then the gym benefits on a membership. It's a win-win-win.
Interesting.
And it's especially interesting when we explain this to new trainers that are interested in the gym, and they're like, "Whoa, really?" And then they still they're
suspect.
Exactly. Suspect. So they're it's too good to be true. I've gotten to that point where I'm like, I think we're too good of a gym where people are just way too hesitant because, like Kristian said in one of our podcasts before, some people just aren't ready to be unplugged from the matrix. They're not ready.
Interesting.
They're not ready. So they get comfortable in their nice little bubble inside of their corporate gyms. They make their crap salary from hundreds or like 50 clients or whatever. They get burnt out. They slack on their clients. They slack on themselves because they got too much on their plate and they're not making enough.
So when they've come to you, they've been able to reduce the amount of clients that they had and make the same amount or more money.
Oh,
yes.
It's always more. They always make
Interesting.
more. I mean, if you see any of the trainers that we've had prior to this, Jamie, for example, he had 54 clients at a corporate gym.
Wow.
Now he has roughly around 16-ish, and that's less than half, and he's making 2.5 times more than 52 clients. Now, if he had 52 clients now, like he said, and I quote, "We'll be doing this on a jet." That's what he said. He said that we'll be doing our sessions on a jet if he had the same amount of clients at our gym. That's the difference.
See, I can't speak to the operational side or the numbers.
Yeah.
I prefer not to because it's not my area of expertise. And
Mhm.
I'm sure there's some gym owners or developers that might hear this that goes against the grain because it cuts from some of their revenue. But I don't know. You tripled your membership, you tripled your personal trainers, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
And those came from your competitors.
Yeah.
So there's something to
Exactly.
be said. Maybe it's not everybody's business model. Maybe there's some, for some gym owners, there's some halfway point. And again, I can't speak to the
Right.
numbers or the revenue, but I do know that you came with a concept, and that's how I got on to asking you the question about
Mhm.
the matrix. And it's really interesting because within the concept that you guys wanted to do, we incorporated some of the themes from the film into the design, but also
Yeah.
you did the red and blue. You even did the red and blue pill. And we
Yeah.
integrated that. Some
Yep.
people who will go to your website or your Instagram page and see the red and
We'll see it.
blue. We created areas in the gym. So, it's interesting because you did that green. Everybody, I have a client now, a really nice person out in California. I'm doing 3 gyms for them. And they had the same black and green as you guys did. And then talked to somebody else that had the same black and green. And
wow.
this week I was looking at someone else and it's that lime green. So now we've taken that, we've kept your brand, sort of your DNA, if you will. We've kept your green. It's sort of central to your theme, but we've elevated the experience. And then we brought in some other sort of concepts and colors with the red and blue that
Yeah.
reinforce the theme, but it all sort of, it's homogenized idea that all works well together. So
what I think is cool is I remember in one of our podcasts, Alex was brought up that The Matrix is a documentary. It's not just a film; it's a documentary.
We're living
And the actual movie, The Matrix, they're fighting the machines, right? And we were just talking about AI.
Yeah.
So we're literally living that documentary because there's the AI designs. But then you're our Morpheus. You're our Morpheus that have escaped the AI designs, and then we're here.
I could ride the boat with everybody and say, "Oh yeah,
ChatGPT.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's how well I know it because I never even adopted it. And I'm a creative. That's my gift. I'm a creative, so I'm writing, and I like wordsmithing and writing. That's how I sort of made my name for myself because I figured out how to write well. And so as I'm writing,
Is it GPT or
GPT?
I thought it was GPT.
It's either GBT or GPT.
Do you know, Derek? GPT?
I think GPT.
GPT. I think it's GPT.
Okay.
The
GPT.
point was, is I'm writing, and what happens is, as I'm writing, it's ghosting in, completing my sentence. I'm like, screw you.
Yeah.
You're not going to determine my thoughts, my wording, my emotions.
It's funny. We were just texting the other day too about like the design and ideas and stuff. And then he sent me an article about using emojis. And now I will never use emojis in my life.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is
Christian's baffled.
My feeling
He's
I
is-
need to know this. Yeah, I need to know this.
Oh, okay.
Christian is stunned.
I mean, can we go? We don't want to go sideways, but when the emojis first came out, and I started looking at these, I thought, this is ridiculous. What it is this removing the ability for people to communicate, and it's dumbing down the conversation.
Right.
And it was just my instinct again. I'm going to call it spiritual God, whatever. And I said, there's something about this that doesn't sit with me. And as time went along, the articles started coming out, saying that emoticons and emojis are really detrimental to people's ability to communicate. So this is what I'm saying about AI and gym design. Some people are promoting AI as gym design. And I look at it as like, there's nothing creative about that. When you look at David Barton's gyms, and you've got some people out of, I think, the UK. What was their name? There's a group out of UK. I'll remember the name. They're doing really beautiful gyms. The guys that I'm working with are doing beautiful gyms. So there's some players in the world that are doing like 3 or 4 design groups that are really doing beautiful things that AI can't even touch.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in a different, it's
fair.
God versus machine.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And God wins all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And a lot of people are going to get pissed.
7 days out of the week, twice on a Sunday,
I,
all
I
day.
mean, there's a place for AI. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to, we could use it as a tool. People talk about what are the benefits versus, the downside of it. But in the creative realm, I've seen whatever I've seen, there's nothing that impresses me, again, because of my filter. And
I think the one cool thing about AI is the convenience that it can give you for certain things. So generating emails or but even then, right, it takes away the creativity out of it. That's the one down. That's the biggest downfall of AI. It takes away your creativity. You don't think for yourself anymore, right? You have this artificial intelligence that has access to everything in the world think for you. So you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome, but that's not original. That's not you. You're not using your God-given abilities to create something something special. It's just AI. It's just a machine.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's
Dumbing
really,
everybody down.
yeah. Well, some people are.
Some people, yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm just talking from my point. Again, I said that, I can see that there will be AI will be useful
Yeah.
for the best applications. Maybe medicine, science, whichever it is. But at this time, I'll go up against AI anytime to design a gym. Come on, bring them on. So,
Yeah.
Challenge
I
accepted.
know. Challenge Morpheus versus
Morpheus
AI.
versus the
and I look at some of the things that they're doing in the art or interior design. It's like you can't build it. There's no technology to build this. There's no practical knowledge. It's just information, visual information, and so it's soulless as far as I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
Mr. Black, thank you so much for telling us your story, where you grew up and everything. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about what is next for you?
Well, before we get, and I'll tell you where I'm moving now. I want to say to the people who are technology who follow me is that I cast no aspersions on what you believe in your investments and what you believe to be. I mean, you have all your sort of I guess liberty to believe in all that. I'm just coming from my angle, and so I respect the fact if you love this technology, that's fine. But I see faults or shortcomings in my sphere of influence.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm trying to say is like we can talk about it, and so but I'm rejecting at face value what people push out and say this is the future, and I'm saying no, that's not the future for design, for gym design.
Right.
So my future is I'm already not only I'm just the pedigree of the pedigree of the people that I'm working with is getting more people are recognizing what I'm doing. So, we're not like a big design firm. We're a small boutique, what we call boutique size design firm. So we have really interesting developers, a lot of new people coming in, or some people that are really entrenched in industry, seeing that what we're doing is like, this is the future. So people are reaching out to me. So I'm still invested in this, but I'm pivoting into fine art and sculpture. So I'm really excited.
Wow,
that's me
interesting.
personally. So yeah, really cool stuff. I'm really interested in, and it's all part of the sort of the creative spirit coming to me. So that's really my future. So I'm staying entrenched in the gym designs with certain.
Our next
design-
gym is gonna have to be like a Spartan theme with all the sculptures and stuff. Man.
something. Yeah.
You could be the next Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci.
I don't. No, I'm just going to do really cool gym designs with gym owners. So it's fun. And it's fun working with the owners, especially like all of the developers who've been coming to us, other than we're working with somebody new down in Fort Lauderdale, St. Petersburg, Florida. He's doing a treadmill gym. He said, I was following you 2 years and now it's time to pull the trigger.
Oh, wow.
We did this really cool yellow, it's on my Instagram.
I saw, yeah.
The yellow one with the big oval that you look through the window, really like sci-fi, really cool. And so, I'm excited because new people are like you guys are kind of new to the industry in a sense. You've sort of enveloped me, but the old school guys are starting to come over to our side.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll win some over for sure.
There's been there's an awakening.
The Morpheus effect.
The Morpheus effect, indeed.
So
All right,
that's it.
Mr.
He-
Black.
You got to ask him the question.
I know I'm gonna ask you questions.
Uh-oh.
So, since we started the podcast, we've been asking these Spitfire rapid questions
Oh.
at the end of it, just so the audience can get to know you better a little bit more.
Okay.
They're mostly going to be fitness related because I know you're big into fitness.
I'm natural bodybuilder.
You're a natural
I still train
bodybuilder.
6 days a week.
Wow, 6 days a week.
Yeah, I'm in great shape.
Do you do cardio?
I do 1 or 2 days. I split. I do HIIT. I do weightlifting 3 days a week, cardio once, and a couple of HIIT days. So I do a lot of variety. And I'm older, and so the variety is good.
Good, good, awesome.
No
Well,
meds. I'm on no meds.
no meds, nothing.
By the
My-
way,
my-
like
yeah.
for who's never seen Mr. Black in person, I remember when we first met him, this dude's a tank. All right,
Yeah.
he's built
Yeah.
and he's tall as shit. All right, so he's a tank. Because when I saw him in that first podcast, I was like, all right, regular guy. But when we met him in person, I was like, all right, yeah,
Big
this
boy.
dude was a
I know
bodybuilder
the
for
inside.
sure.
Of me. I'm on the inside of.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not coming as a designer outside
Right.
the industry trying to design gyms. I know the background.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely. Well, Mr. Black, are you ready for your Spitfire question?
I'm ready for my Spitfire question.
All right, here we go. Push, pull, or legs?
Legs.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Legs grow the whole body,
There you go.
and then when you do legs, heavy. I'm not
Okay,
talking
so
about.
he's
like,
about
yeah.
he's about that Ronnie Coleman 800-pound squats then,
No,
or 600-pound squats.
When I first got into bodybuilding, I found this book about. I forgot the name of the book. So many great books, but legs grow the whole body because it stresses core, everything.
Okay.
Drive that.
Damn.
So legs.
Savage.
We got to clip that. We got
I
to
know,
make a short or something
seriously,
because
yeah.
that's perfect right there.
Yeah.
That is great.
Nobody
wisdom.
says legs. It's push or pull.
Nobody
Yeah,
says legs.
usually no one says legs.
Yeah,
Very few people say legs.
literally.
What would you rather have? Protein, fats, or carbs?
Probably fats.
Fats. That's the first time someone
That's
said
the
fats.
first time someone said fats.
Yeah, the right fats are really good for all
Interesting.
the joints, inflammation. everything. Yeah.
Interesting.
I could two that nobody.
He just thinks different.
Yes, he does.
He's
I mean,
just
legs,
different, bro.
fats already.
Now we gotta reconstruct our whole diet plan because Morpheus said fats, so now we have to eat more fat.
Yeah, I eat tons of butter and. Oh, we gotta.
Okay.
No, we got 1
yeah,
minute.
We're,
Oh,
almost,
but-
we're almost done, Derek. We're
Oh.
almost done, my man.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep, we're almost done.
And
So fast.
One more Spitfire question.
We have more. We have to.
Okay.
All right. So, what is your ideal form of cardio?
I was going to think making love, but
Ah, let's go. Hey, that is
was that the wrong
cardio. Does
answer?
that count?
Did anybody?
That counts.
Yeah,
Hey,
it count. What do you mean it doesn't
of
count?
course it counts.
It counts.
It counts.
Okay,
Of course it counts. Things different. I'm telling you.
Good enough.
I'm telling you.
Good enough.
Taking notes. Hold on. I'm taking notes.
That's funny. This has been fun.
All right, Mr. Black. What is the best compliment that you can get? You're jacked, you're ripped, you're cut, you're big, or you're swole.
Big.
Big?
Big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you've accomplished that.
Yeah,
Because
you're
I'm big. I'm
yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
big.
bigger guy.
240.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, he's telling you, he's a tank, bro.
Yeah.
Man, such a big guy.
Yeah.
And then,
But big, being in shape, big.
yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
Definitely. What is your ideal cheat meal?
Cheat meal, candy bars. Yeah.
Ah,
Wow.
sweet
Candy.
guy.
What's your favorite candy bar?
Probably $100,000 candy bar or like Twix.
Twix. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be something else like a Snickers.
Those are my cheat.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got the last one, right?
And then the last one,
This
and
is the most important
this
one,
is the
Mr. Black.
most important question. The way you answer this question is going to really
This-
tell us who you are.
This will change the whole entirety of the planet.
Ass or tits?
I can't say both.
Well,
probably.
say
I
both.
probably ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
let's go. But he wanted to say both.
I've been lucky.
Awesome.
I love the erotic experience.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Morpheus has
This
spoken.
will
Everyone,
offend
take out
any
your
of some of
notepads.
our members, some of your followers, or my followers might offend some people.
That's okay.
Ah.
We don't care
Gotta
about
get
that on the
tough.
podcast.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
get hard.
That's
Life
their
is
issue.
hard. Wear a helmet, as
Like-
Candace Owen would say.
Or
Life is
David
hard.
Goggins, stay hard.
Stay
Exactly.
hard. Exactly.
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 He's amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
Love that guy.
love that guy.
Yeah, he's a shout out David Goggins.
David Goggins.
David Goggins.
Hey, where you at, David Goggins? I did my 10,000 lunges. When are you going to do yours?
Dude, don't test him. He's gonna do
I know
50,000.
he would. And then I'd have to do 60, and I just would not.
And then you'll
want
die.
it, and then I'll die.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was
definitely.
fun, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
And
so
I
much
forgot
for
your
being
name.
here.
I'm sorry, but
Derek.
Derek. Thank you,
Thank you
Derek.
so much for coming, Mr.
So
Black.
Thank you so
guys.
much, Mr. Black.
Okay.
And before we go, we just want to thank our sponsors. So the BACP group, Derek and Alex's business. Alex is not
Yep.
here today, so Derek is taking over.
Thank you,
So
Derek.
thank you so much, Derek. We appreciate
Thank
it. Also, we like to thank NutriMeals. Sometimes when you are busy like us and you can't, cook your food and you need something quick and easy that's not junk food or fast food, NutriMeals is the way to go.
They also have great shirts.
And they do have great shirts. This is very comfortable. This is very comfortable. So thank you so much for NutriMeals. Use KMF40 at checkout on your first order to get 40% off.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right.
Alrighty.
Very good podcast,
wrap.
guys.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much.
We gonna